Welcome to my channel. In this tutorial we'll learn how to make this beautiful style. This is a part 2. In part 1 we drafted the lower part of the outfit. If you have not watched that video, check the description box for the link to part 1. This is the pattern that we worked on in the previous video. So this pattern, we got this upper part of it by dividing our hip by 3, and we subtracted 1 inch from our answer. Now what I'm doing is I going up by 2 inches, and I'm going up by 2 inches because what we are sewing is more like a romper or a jumpsuit. It's connected to the upper part, and we need our crotch area to be very free. So that's what the reason for coming up by 2 inches. You can come up by maybe 2.5 or even 3 inches, depending on how free you want it to be. But know that the more you come up, the longer your shorts will be. So I came up by 2 inches and I'll cut it out. After cutting, I'll place it on my fabric and I'll cut out my fabric. For this style, you can use a stretchy fabric, or if you are not using a stretchy fabric, then you will have to add sewing allowance to the front crotch and zipper allowance to the back crotch. Now this is the fabric I used. I only added 1 inch seam allowance at this part that I'm touching, and at the waist part I added 1/2 inch allowance there still. So the back, if you are using a non-stretchy material, then you add a zipper allowance to that side, and 1/2 inch allowance to the front. That is if your material is not stretchy, but the material I'm using is stretchy, so I don't need that. And make sure you mark the back and the front, notch it if you have to. This is the back for me here has this white, so I will not be notching it. I will keep that aside while we work on the upper part. This is a pattern, a pattern paper. I'll use it to draft the upper part. The first thing is to mark my half length. Your half length, then you add 1 inch to it. If your half length is 15, you mark 16. I'll mark 3 inches. From the 3 inches, I'll mark 5 inches. For my 5 inches, I'll come down by 1.5 inches. Now connect my shoulder slants. My back divided by 2 is what I will mark next. I'll go down a little and mark my back divided by 2 so that I can get a straight line. From the shoulder slant, I will draw a straight line downward, and on that straight line I will mark my armhole divided by 2. And if you want it free, after dividing your armhole by 2, you add maybe 1 inch or 1.5 inch ease. So at that point, I will divide my bust circumference by 4, and I will put whatever value. And since I'm using a stretchy material, I did not add seam allowance. I didn't add seam allowance. If you are using a non-stretchy material, please add your seam allowance. This part, my waist divided by 4, and remember, no seam allowance because I'm using a stretchy material. So I'll just connect it, draw the armhole curve, and cut it out. Okay, before cutting, when you look at the style, you realize that the sleeve is joined together with it. So I will not cut, I'll just work on the sleeve directly before cutting. What I'll just do is I will extend my sleeve. It depends on how long you want it to be. I'll be using 4 inches. I will extend it 4 inches. I will now draw the shoulder slant that I have to meet that point, and I'll curve it to meet my hammer curve. I'll curve it to meet my hammer curve. After doing that, I'll cut out my pattern. We'll be using this pattern to cut both the front and the back. The first thing is to work on our neckline for the back. So I'll be marking 5 inches width, and the depth I'll use 1.25. If you like, you can use 1 inch. If you like, you can use 1.5 inches. I'll be using 1.25 inches. So I'll connect and cut it out. And after cutting it out, I will use it to cut my fabric. I will put 1 inch allowance, more like a zipper allowance, even though we're not putting a zipper because it doesn't have a zipper. It has an opening at that point, but we need to fold it. So this is it. I already used it to cut. At the lower part, I added ½ inch again because I just want it free. You can add 1 inch. And at this part, I added 1 inch. That is at the more like a zipper allowance, but it's not a zipper allowance, so we'll just fold it. Now let's use it to cut the front. Normally it's on fold, and this is how it's supposed to be placed, isn't it? But because it has more like a little cowl effect, I will open it up like this, and this place I will just make it 6 inches. 6 inches. And this is how I will place it, and I'll cut it. So just let me draw a straight line from the head of my neckline at that point, and just draw it straight so that I can know what to follow. After drawing that, I'll cut it out, and I'll make sure I had like a facing to the upper part. I added ½ inch again at this lower part. After cutting, this is what it looks like. This extra is for facing. That was how I folded it and I cut it out, and that part is the shoulder that will join to the back. So the next thing is I'll cut a belt. This tie has a belt. I'll cut two belts, one for the right, one for the left, and I'll go do the sewing. I'll first sew the shorts and then do the upper part. Alright, this is the belt. Let me sew and come back to show you what I have. Alright, this is it. This is the shorts. I joined the crotch for the front and for the back, and this is what I have. So if you are making a short, just put a band there, turn the down part, and that's it. It's one of the easiest shorts you can sew, but because we are making it more like a jumpsuit, stay with me till I finish what we started. To sew the upper part, I will fold the back. I'll fold it twice. I will tape the neckline for the right and for the left, and after that I will join it with the front, the shoulder. I'll connect it with the shoulder of the front and of the back. I'll connect it. Okay, this is it. I already taped the neckline of the back. I already folded the center back. You see it's folded, and I already joined with the shoulder of the front. Now the next thing to do is to join the side and put the belt. Put the belt, tape the armhole, and while putting the belt, I will leave half inch at that point so that I will use it to join the upper part to the lower part. And then this is it. This is it. The belt, the front, the back. The back has I added a loop to the upper part so that I can put my button. There is no zipper, but if it's not a non-stretchy material, remember to put your zipper. There is a loop at that point and a button already fixed. The next thing and the last thing is to make a fold to gather that point and use something fancy to just wrap it. So that is the next thing. You gather it, the armhole. Yes, the shoulder at that point. You gather it, and that's all. So easy and simple. Thank you for watching this tutorial. If this content is the type you like, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share my video. See you in my next tutorial. The link to the first video of how to draft that short will be in the description box. Don't forget to check it out. Bye.